Ever wondered what a really sophisticated cyber attack looks like? I mean, for real. Forget all those Hollywood scenes with the crazy typing and the magic progress bars. A real infrastructure attack? Well, it's a lot less like magic and way more like a meticulously planned heist. It's a craft, a step-by-step process of finding a weakness and exploiting it.
You gotta love this quote, right? The sarcasm is just perfect. It totally captures the cat and mouse game of cybersecurity, and it points to a simple truth. Attackers, whether they're the bad guys or the ethical hackers trying to stop them, they thrive on the small stuff, the little mistakes and oversights that leave the digital doors wide open.
So, to really get our heads around this, we're going to walk through the attacker's 5-phase playbook. Think of it like a roadmap for our digital heist. We'll start with the blueprint, then we'll case the joint, pick the lock, navigate the corridors, and finally, we'll crack the vault. Let's get into it.
Okay, first up, the heist blueprint. Look, any sophisticated attack, whether it's for good or for bad, it's not random. Not at all. It follows a very clear, very structured plan. It's a methodology that makes sure every move is efficient and has the best possible chance of success.
And this is that blueprint. It all starts with reconnaissance. That's just gathering intel on the target. Then you've got vulnerability analysis, which is basically finding the weak spots. After that, exploitation. This is the actual break-in. Post-exploitation is everything that happens once you're inside, moving deeper. And for the good guys, the ethical hackers, there's that final crucial step, reporting, so the defenses can actually be fixed. The main thing to get here is that it's a process, a repeatable set of steps.
So let's dive into phase 1, casing the joint. This is all about reconnaissance. Before an attacker even thinks about launching an attack, they're gathering as much intelligence as they possibly can from the outside. They're just looking for any little crack in that digital facade.
Now, recon comes in two main flavors. You've got passive recon, which is kind of like a stakeout. You're just gathering public info, searching company docs, looking at employees' social media without ever touching the target systems. Then you have active recon. This is more like rattling the doorknobs. You're actually prodding the target with stuff like port scans to see what talks back.
And you would be shocked at how much is just out there, totally exposed. For instance, a simple passive search on Shodan, which is like a search engine for internet-connected things, for micro-tick routers can pull up thousands of potential targets. No hacking needed. This is just public information, basically a list of doors just waiting to be checked.
All right, so our attacker has cased the joint. They've picked a target. Now it's time for the fun part, picking the lock. This is the exploitation phase. It's that critical moment where they breach the perimeter and get their very first foothold inside the network.
And the holy grail of this phase, what they're really hoping for, is something called remote code execution, or RCE. Simply put, it means you can run your own commands on their machine. It's not just breaking a window. It's like someone hands you a key that lets you unlock the front door and walk right in. It's a game changer.
And what's really fascinating is how one tiny, specific flaw can be that key. So check this out. In this real-world example, an attacker finds a server using a pretty common database tool. They send it a specially crafted web request, one that takes advantage of a known vulnerability. And just like that, the server is tricked into running the attacker's code. Boom, they have their foothold. One tiny crack just caused the entire door to swing wide open.
So, the attacker is in the building, but they're not at the vault yet, not even close. Now comes the really tricky part, navigating the internal corridors, moving deeper and deeper into the network, all while trying to stay completely invisible.
Right, you're in. Now what? Getting that initial access is a huge win for sure, but it's really just the start of the operation. That first machine you get into, it's almost never the real prize. The goal is to use it as a launch pad, a stepping stone to get to the real targets. This whole process is called lateral movement, or sometimes pivoting. The idea is you use the trust and the access of the machine you've already compromised to attack other systems on the internal network, systems you could never even see from the outside. It's exactly like finding an employee's keycard in the lobby and then using it to get into all the secure floors upstairs. A classic way to pull this off is with a tool called SOCAT. An attacker can use it to build a kind of secret tunnel. They're essentially creating a bridge that forwards all their attack traffic from their own computer through the server they've already compromised and then on to another target deep inside the network. To everyone else, it just looks like traffic coming from a trusted internal machine. It's really clever.
So after all that sneaky maneuvering through the corridors, we finally arrive at the ultimate objective, cracking the vault. And in the world of corporate network attacks, the vault isn't money, it's not even data, it's control. The ultimate prize is becoming the domain admin.
Yeah, becoming the domain admin, that is the absolute endgame. This single account holds the keys to the entire kingdom. It can control every computer, read any user's data, change any security policy across the whole network. It's like going from having one stolen key card to becoming the building superintendent with a master key that opens every single door.
So how on earth do you find the path from some random user's account all the way up to domain admin? Well, you use a map maker. There's this incredible tool called Bloodhound, and it uses something called graph theory to map out all the hidden, complicated relationships between users and computers and permissions in a network. It literally draws you a map showing all the possible paths to power.
A Bloodhound graph. It basically tells a visual story. It shows you, step by step, how an attacker can chain together different permissions to get where they want to go. And often, these are paths that no human would ever spot on their own, created by years of tiny, seemingly harmless configuration mistakes. It makes that invisible web of permissions totally visible, turning what looks like a crazy maze into a clear road to the vault.
So, as we've seen, a successful attack isn't a single magic trick. It's a methodical process. It's a heist with a very clear playbook. And understanding these phases, from the initial recon all the way to privilege escalation, well, that's not just for attackers. It is the first and most critical step for anyone trying to build a better defense, which really only leaves one question to think about. Where's the weakest link in your digital fortress?